gonna be too dark right there. Huh? Pull it over here. These would go right here. Oh, that's far more visible. You can see me a lot better here. You want to be able to see me, you know. Smoking double fisted here, man. Smoking like a fucking chimney over here and shit. He smoked like a chimney. He drank like a fish. My great grandma used to mix those up. She'd be like, he smoked like a fish. I'd be like, did he drink like a chimney? He drinks like a chimney. I guess you could drink like a chimney and you could smoke like a fish if you want to. I like to smoke salmon. He smoked like a fish and he drank like a chimney. You know those chimneys they drink. When it rains, the chimney drinks. So my great grandma, you know, she was bass backwards. It runs in the family. I come from a long line of long lines, and we've been waiting a long time. For what? I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. I don't know. That's how people talk when they try to say Obama. Obama? That's how everybody was talking during his presidency. They'd be like, Obama, Barack, did Obama Iraq? Obama, is he going to go get Osama? Or Hussein, Saddam Hussein, Barack Hussein, Obama, we elected Obama, Barack Obama, Iraq, and we'll go get Osama. Barack Obama, Hussein. Throw Hussein in there every once in a while. Hussein's his damn middle name. Kind of like Saddam Hussein, but no, it's Barack Hussein. It's Bomb Iraq Hussein. Who's saying that? I saying that. That's his damn fake middle name. Because you know when you become a president or a public figure, you got to change your name. Because now you're the acting, whatever your title is. You're acting. So as an actor, you're playing a role, and that role isn't you. So you have to put another name on the face of you. I am no longer Barry Soetoro. I am acting president, you know, chief fucking commander. Imagine that we had a gay commander in chief. And he dropped more bombs than any other fucking president. No, I think Trump's got him beat now. Bomb dropping Trump. Trump's like, since I didn't get the Nobel Peace Prize, I'm just going to go ahead and take Greenland from you. I heard the people in Greenland they technically can't own property. They own their house or whatever, but nobody owns the land. I don't know if that's true or not, but that's what I heard, that nobody there owns the land. It belongs to everybody, but is that what he said? It was like they own the house,
That's
but the land belongs to everybody?
Yeah, I don't know. It's a random fact.
It's hearsay so far, but but still, that's interesting. I mean, I think it's kind of cool. I kind of like that. Because, I mean, you don't really need to own the dirt. You just got to own the house that you're living in. I mean, and it just kind of common sense goes with the rest. You know, it's like you don't just try to own somebody else's spot, obviously. And in a place like Greenland, I imagine there's enough space to, like, get your own spot. But that kind of makes me wonder. It's like, well, if you don't own the land, can you just go build a house somewhere? And it's good. If you paid for the house, then it's yours, obviously. Because that would be the only monkey wrench in the whole thing. The real estate agents would be ass out. Is it a real estate or a fake one? This is a real estate. It ain't fake. Smoke them if you get them. That's a good one. Homegrown. Well, what am I gonna do here? Is anybody in here? Oh, I got one straggler. I've been found by one straggler. Welcome, straggler. Yeah, so they got to change your name when they become, on the world stage. You got to change your name because now you're an actor on the world stage. It's a stage, where you put on a play, a performance. You're no longer Barry Soetoro. You're now Barack Hussein Obama. Because you're gonna go bomb Iraq, get Saddam Hussein and Osama. It all fits together so nicely, like a big story somebody wrote. There's got to be like a script writer, whistleblower one of these days. Oh, I wrote the script. I wrote the news for like 3 years. Fucking everything that happened in the news, it was pre-written by me. I mean, they probably have AI coming up with the stories nowadays. There was some story that made me think that recently. I forget what it was now. Oh well, I gotta write down these things so I have notes I can refer to, like a professional podcaster. This ain't no podcast. No, man. That's not what this shit is. This ain't no fucking alternative media. No, that's not what this shit is. This ain't no YouTube channel. Fuck no. It's just some dude with a crappy beat up iPhone. He's gonna play some songs. All zero of you. I play to zero. Who want to hear? I play music for your ears. It's music to your ears that I'm here to play. And if nobody shows up, well then it's nobody's ears that I'm playing for, but my own. And my girlfriend over there. She's trying to pretend she's not hearing me making a total dork of myself. I'm a dork and proud, because you know why? At the forefront of every cool guy trend, there's a risk-taking dork. You have to be aware of that. So next time you see a risk-taking dork, be like, right on, bro, props. It takes balls to be a risk-taking dork. And then when everybody thinks it's cool and they all fucking copy you, well, now you gotta change your style because you just look like everybody else. See, look, there's somebody in the chat and it says 0 on my screen. I should take a screenshot. What's up, Consciente? Hi. Johnny Cash? I don't know if I know any. I know one Johnny Cash song, I think. I don't know if it's Johnny Cash, but I think it is. You know that song? Well, I taught that weeping willow. Well, I taught that. Well, I taught that weeping willow how to cry, cry, cry. Taught the clouds how to cover a clear blue sky. Tears I cry for that woman. I'm gonna flood you, big river. And I'm gonna sit right here until I die. Well, I taught that weeping willow how to cry, cry, cry. Taught the clouds how to cover up a clear blue sky. Tears I cried for that woman. I'm gonna flood you, big river. And I'm gonna sit right here until I die. Well, I met her accidentally in St. Paul, Minnesota. It tore me up every time I heard her draw that southern drawl. I heard my dream went back downstream aboard Queen Davenport. Well, I followed you, big river, when you come. Well, I taught that weeping willow how to cry, cry, cry. Taught the clouds how to cover up a clear blue sky. Tears I cry for that woman, gonna flood you, big river. I'm gonna sit right here until I die. Out of tune. she's been here, but she's gone, boy, she's gone. I followed down to Memphis, but she just walked off the bluff. Raised a few eyebrows as she went on down alone. Well, I taught that weeping willow how to cry, cry, cry. I taught the clouds how to cover up a clear blue sky. Tears I cry for the woman, I'm gonna flood you, big river. I'm gonna sit right here until I die. Oh yeah. Got a new string on it. Still stretching out. Well, I'm bound on down to Baton Rouge as the Queen River roll on. I take that woman down to New Orleans, New Orleans. I give up if I had enough. I'll get my blues on down to the Gulf. She loves you, big river, more than me. Well, I thought that weekend willow had to cry, cry, cry. Clouds had to cover up a clear blue sky. Tears I cried for the woman, I'm gonna flood you, big river. I'm gonna sit right here until I die. I had to rush through then. Starting to get kind of tired of it. Sorry, I don't really know that many Johnny Cash, Willie Nelson. I love those guys. I should learn some of their songs. I used to know how to play like On the Road Again. On the road again.
Getting your COVID test. Look at this. Ew, this drive-through COVID tunnel.
What?
Look
Drive
at
through
it,
COVID tunnel.
And look at them. Oh, come on in. Oh, heck no.
Creepy.
You just stick something in your brain.
And she actually got the test?
Yeah.
Ah.
Going to get her COVID test for a drive-through.
Jab some fucking Q-tip up here in your brain. That's totally sketch, dude.
With their masks and hazard gear on.
I mean, that looks like a creepy movie.
That is so creepy.
It's like well filmed.
Ew.
But that's what reality was back then.
I would never drive into that thing.
You come drive through the COVID tunnel or what? It's fucked up, dude. We'll stick this thing up into your brain to see if you're sick.
I didn't get any lines, none of that.
No way, I didn't participate in a damn thing they told me to. Just out of good measure, you know? Like, I don't do what fucking government tells me to do. That's not the role I play. I'm Dr. Bass Ackwards. I come at it from the other direction.
We must test you to see if you're sick. Because you don't know.
Yeah, you don't know if you're sick. We're going to tell you if you're sick or not. You get an asymptomatic disease. This shot's going to greatly reduce the symptoms for your asymptomatic disease. You better get it or we're all going to get sick and die. You could at least come up with a better story. Probably would have got more people to jump on board your whole fucking, you know, mission that stick a needle in every living person alive. We got this new experimental technology we want to stick in you, and we're going to demand that every person alive on Earth gets a shot, or 2 or 3 or 4. Because, you know, even though we don't have any long-term data about it, and the short-term data looks pretty awful, and we don't know what half the ingredients are, and the ingredients that we do know are not for use in humans, but still, I mean, we think it's a good idea that everybody that's alive right now gets at least 3 or 4 of these shots, you know, and then keep getting them if you're still alive after that. Get them every year, get them twice a year. I mean, flu season's like every other month nowadays. It's like it's still flu season. It's flu season again. Fucking flu seasons all the time. We're in a permanent flu season. Well, there wasn't a flu season the year of COVID, the spooky year of COVID. There was no flu numbers, and people like to say, "Oh, that's because they just changed the name of the flu and they called it COVID." I'm like, "Oh, okay, all right. Well, then why were the hospitals empty the whole time?" I know because I looked. Um, oh, well, maybe it's because nobody was sick. Maybe they didn't change. Maybe it's just because there was no flu. And maybe that's because everybody was scared and they were hiding and nobody went to their annual doctor visit and got their flu shot. That's right. There's a flu season because people get it injected into them every year. Where does the flu season originate from? I don't know, but people get these shots every year. They're called flu shots. Oh, well, that's probably a good lead. Let's follow that one. Let's see what happens. Let's see what happens when nobody gets it for a year. Oh, whoa, the flu disappeared. What happened? Oh, I don't know. Well, let's just continue with how we were. No science to look at there. No data to study. Nothing to worry about there. ZZ Top, hell yeah. I like your taste in music, man. I don't really know anybody's. I might know how to play it. I could probably improvise. I ain't asking for much. I ain't asking for much. Oh, let me take you downtown. I'm just looking for some touch. I've been up. I've been down. What did he say? I've been bad. I've been good. Dallas, Texas, Hollywood. Woo! I ain't asking for much. Well, let me take you downtown. I'm just looking for some touch. I've been good. I've been bad. I've been funny. I'm man. Hey, I won't ask for much. Sorry, I don't know how to play that song. That was me pretending. I've been up. I've been down. I like ZZ Top. They're cool. I think one of their band members died from the jab. It's a shame. What a fucking. I mean, were there really famous people really were behind it? They were like, I thought they were just shilling, but I think actually a lot of them actually went out and got the shots. And that's a crying shame. God bless their souls. They were so naive at the time, I suppose. But how could you trust the government? Government means mind control. Why would you trust an entity that names itself mind control? You probably should stay away from anything with the government stamp of approval on it. 'Cause I bet you anything, it'll only bring you problems. And you'll react and they'll bring a solution. Yes, they will. Never let a good crisis go to waste. That's what they say. Never let a chance to create a fake crisis, to create a fake reaction, until we can implement a fake solution. That's more like what they mean. 'Cause they're full of shit. That's a fact. You should never trust a man in a government costume. 'Cause their job is to exploit you and turn you into revenue. They don't really give a damn. And Uncle Sam, he turned out to be a total pervert after all was said and done. I want you. Wink, wink. to join the army. And Big Brother, who won't forget Big Brother? He turned out to be nothing more than a peeping Tom. He's always watching you. These aren't the kind of things you should trust. It's a bust. You must try to use your critical thinking skill, or you'll be completely duped by the beast system. It has no love for a man. It's always the same, working in the complete opposite direction of humanity. It's not by accident, it's all by design. Their name is government, that means to control your mind. Don't get it twisted, you know this to be true. They all lie to you, it's true, it's a lie. It's true, nothing's true. And the more money you shovel at NASA, the more rinky-dink they get. They almost appear to be low budget. But $80 million a day is enough, a lot of money to pay. You think you'd have more to say for yourself, but all we get is this cheesy presentation of the International Space Station. They got a lot of hairspray, they gotta wear a lot of hairspray to make their hair look that way, like it's a low-G environment. Doing that science, the science of deception. What a government does best. You know, the ISS has achieved so many breakthroughs, scientific breakthroughs. They grew lettuce, and what else did they do? I know they did something else. Well, they had some pet mice up there. I remember seeing them all floating around in the cage. Poor little mice. They're doing like mice science of mice in space. I remember it's true. But I think they probably had to end that program because of all the floating mice turds floating by, you know. Became a health hazard, little puddles of mice pee floating by. Like, okay, we got to can the whole mouse science. Can that one. That was a bad idea. We didn't think about the floating mice turds. Oh, God, this place is nasty. You got like a stowaway rodent on one of your, you know, missions to the ISS. There's like a fucking rat living on the ISS. Eating their little dehydrated food scraps, you know, and like starts to shit everywhere, and then there's little rat turds floating by while they're doing their ISS transmissions to the Earth. They're like, we're doing a lot of science up here. You guys should really be grateful for how great the planet is. It's so small and fragile, and we're up here, we can see the whole thing. We should all be united together and be friends. There's a rat turd floating by. This is the breakthrough science of today. No, that wasn't a rat turd that just floated by my face. No. This is a sterile lab. We're doing science. No, that's not rat pee. A little yellow bubble floats by, a little yellow bubble of water. I just want to know what kind of science they're doing, you know? I mean, because it's like 20 some odd years of like, you know, it's fucking, I mean, it's just like this sunk cost fallacy, you know? It's like, we keep putting more money into this project even though there's nothing that's come from it. We can't point to something and be like, well, dude, if we didn't have that, then this wouldn't be here. You know, and then like justify it. No, You're just like, well, dude, if we didn't have that, there wouldn't be people believing there was a space station and justifying all the money that we're spending on NASA. They're not a science agency. They're now a spy agency. They're never a straight answer. They're nothing about something anonymous. You know what? There's probably got to be a few like random, like anonymous, like astronaut like group meetings, where they're like, where they have to like get counseling, it's like astronauts anonymous, or like, or maybe like I like the idea that the dejected children of astronauts anonymous. That'd be like the DCA, dejected children of astronauts anonymous. So this would be DCA, the DCAA, the dejected children of astronauts. Or no, I don't know, I'm saying it wrong, but anyways, you get the idea. So because astronauts have to have kids, right? Probably, I'd imagine there's some astronauts that have children. I'd imagine. I don't know. I can't say for sure or not, but like, probably. And so their kids, they grow up thinking their parents are heroes and they're going to space and shit, But then eventually, they start to figure out some shit, like, kid sees like his mom's about to go to space for like 6 months or whatever. She's about to leave the next day, and he goes and he sees like fucking a case of hairspray in her bedroom, and he knows his mom doesn't use hairspray. So he's like, Mom, what's up with all the hairspray? And she doesn't give him a straight answer, And so it's just kind of weird, and he's got this weird thing kind of nagging him in his mind. Like, why do my mom have all that hairspray? What the fuck? And then he sees his mom, talking on the news up from the ISS. And, they're talking to her, and he sees his mom on the news on the ISS up in space. And her hair is all jacked up, all fucking kind of floating, kind of bouncing, and all just fucking Bride of Frankenstein or whatever, just all, he's all, oh man, that's why she had all that hairspray. Oh, brother. And they don't have anyone they can talk to about it, because there's like fucking, their children probably have some kind of like, they're isolated from society somehow, because when shit like that happens, I mean, they don't want their kids talking to everybody about it. I don't know how they handle all that. Maybe it's just like they don't have kids. But it seems like there's like not very many. They're not very like strict with the astronauts. Like, they can pretty much just do whatever they want. I mean, they go to space, and the women, like, it's like military, you have to cut your hair, They don't want to have like any possible like injuries or deaths because your hair got caught in something or whatever. It's just a distraction. It's a possible injury, or it's just a liability. So we don't need anybody to have long hair. We're not trying to like win a fashion contest. We're trying to do important shit that's like fucking, technical stuff. We don't need our hair getting in the way, And especially in a science lab, and it's like fucking, and you're like on life support basically. Like, if any of your air ducts get clogged with hair fucking balls, and your air machine shuts down or something. I mean, it's kind of important to not have a bunch of hair floating around everywhere. But no, they get to just fucking have their hair all crazy everywhere. Look at my hair. That's some pretty impressive science you got going on there. Like, I mean, I guess it's nothing that has to be sterile or anything. They're all playing with water and fucking, I mean, it's a total fucking sham. It's like, you can tell every time they do their little like communications with Earth or whatever. It's all just like a show. They're just trying to show that they're in space. They're not talking about anything important. They never give you anything to sink your teeth into and be like, oh, wow, that's pretty interesting. Nope. It's all about the novelty of space being real, and they're in a place you can go and be all floaty and like, it's a big joke. It's sad. But anyways, that's just one of my little complaints about government. They're always trying to control your mind. That's what they do. And if you know what's down, if you know what's down, then you know what's up. sorry. Or a humanized mouse, or a mousinized man. Or are you like I am? I'm just a guy who won't buy what they're selling. What are they selling? There's no telling. But if you like your government, you're just another mouse-and-eyed man of the system. That's just an act of submission. My mission is to rise above the submission. My mission is to rise above the submission. The submission. I'm above the submission. My mission is to rise above. I should do it like. My mission is to rise above the submission. You know what's there? It's a song I'm working on. My mission is to rise above the sub. My mission is to rise above. What was I doing? Is to rise above the submission. Whatever, I'll work on it later. Sorry. After all the jacks are in their boxes and the clouds have all gone to bed, you can hear happiness staggering on down the street. Footprints dressed in red. I think it's faster than that. It's like, after the jacks are in their boxes, the clouds have all gone to bed. You can hear happiness staggering on down the street. Footprints dressed in red, and the wind whispers merrily. A broom is dreamily sweeping up the broken pieces of yesterday's life. Somewhere a queen's weeping, and somewhere a king has no wife. And the wind cries merry. traffic lights, they turn blue tomorrow. And shine an emptiness down on my bed. The tiny island sands downstream. Whatever. 'Cause the life that living is fucking dead.
Seen a video recently that he had a funny eye. Now he's at the World Economic Forum. He's wearing sunglasses.
Oh yeah, I saw that. He looks like a total kook.
He's trying to hide his eyes.
It's like, dude, what?
He can't hide it anymore. It's showing.
Why would he even bother making a speech? I mean, some.
Their power. They're
He
losing
made
their
a lousy speech. I watched it, and he's like, you can tell he's reading. For one thing, he's reading the word wrong. Like he's not good at reading.
Yeah.
You know, it's like he's reading the word wrong and having to correct it. And
They're
it's
losing their
fucking
power,
idiot.
babe. They're losing all the power.
And that just shows you that he doesn't mean a damn
That's
thing
why
he's saying.
He has to hide behind the sunglasses now.
It's so embarrassing, dude.
We should go sit.
All right. What time is it? Okay. President Macron. Hotel California. I don't know if I can play that song. It's the words that I forget. It's like I can sing along with it when it's on the radio. I feel like I know every word of the song, but then I try to play it and I'm like, fuck, I forget how it goes. You know, on a dark desert highway. All right, you desperate little fuckers. Jeez, there's nothing in there. My raccoons are giving me a hard time. Okay, I'll get you something. Jeez, so fucking. You guys are looking all scrawny. What? You don't know where to get any other food but me? I'm your only guy. I've disabled you. Now you don't know how to get food anywhere else except for right here. What are you going to do? You're going to have to be my pets. You're going to have to stop being scared of me. They'll act like they're afraid of me, and then they'll come up and, like, tug on my pant legs when I don't have any food out here for them. I'm just like, dude, you guys run away from me. Why do you act like you're my friend all of a sudden? What was I trying to... Oh, yeah. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hand. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair. Well, I gotta do it like my own style. On a dark desert highway, cool wind in my hair. Well, I don't have any hair. Warm smell of needle rising up to the air. Up ahead in the distance, saw a shimmering light. My head grew heavy in my heart tonight. I had to stay for the night. Then she stood in the doorway. I heard the mission bell. I was thinking to myself, this could be heaven or this could be hell. I don't know what the words are there. Check out anytime you like. That's the end of the song. See, I suck. Welcome to the Hotel California. Welcome to the Hotel California. Such a lovely place. Such a lovely face. Living it up at the Hotel California. Any time of year you can find us here. See, living it up at the Hotel California. That's fitting because I'm in California right now. How'd you know? Any time of year you can find us here. Yes, champagne on ice. She said, we are all just prisoners here of our own device. At night, they gathered for their feast. The master's chambers, right? They stab it with the steely knives, but they just can't kill the beast. Welcome to the Hotel California. What a nice surprise for your alibi. She's got a lot of, what is it? She's got a lot of boyfriends, pretty boys that she calls friends. She's got the Mercedes Benz. She's got a lot of pretty boys that she calls friends. Please bring me my wine. I yelled to the captain, please bring me my wine. He said, we haven't had that kind of spirit here since 1969. At night, they gathered for the master's chambers, they gathered for the feast. When they stab it with the steely knives, they just can't kill their beast. Last thing I remember, I was running for the door. Had to make it back to the place I was before. Good night, said the nightmare. We are programmed to receive. You can check out anytime you like, but you can never leave. Living it up at the Hotel California. Yeah, any time of year you can find us here. That solo that he does is so cool. I can dig that that song is in, or it starts off like B, it's a B minor, because that's, I like when songs are in that key. I wrote some songs in B minor once. I did that too, but it wasn't as good as that song. I wrote songs in B minor. What song? I don't know. I wrote that one song about how you can't transition into that. You just can't be what you're not. No, you just get caught in a mental trap, but you can't transition into that. Now, you just can't do that. We can see, no, it goes, we can see what you'd like to be, but there's something that you'll never achieve. If you take away what you got, my friend, there's something that you can't get back, and you can't transition into that. No, you just can't do that. No, nobody's ever done that. No, it can't be done. And God has a plan for every woman and man. Don't turn your back on God. Don't turn your back on God. It's not a good thing to do. You might not believe in God, but God believes in you. God believes in you. God believes in you. God believes in you. You know, it's like a song that's kind of like against the whole like trans movement. I'm not saying that you're bad if you're trans or whatever. In fact, I totally sympathize with that in the sense that like, or empathize, I guess, because you're just trying to be yourself. And I'm sure there's some shit that I would never really understand unless I was there. But that being said, I think there's a lot of propaganda that's been pushed out there to try to encourage this sort of thing, and where it's like it's not treated as like being eccentric anymore. It's just treated like it's normal, and it's not normal, you know. And I mean, it's okay to, it's okay, but it's not normal, and so it's like it's not like a significant percentage of the population, and I'm sure the people that are trans probably appreciate that. You know, it's like I think I've known people that were like pretty eccentric in my life. You know, I've been around a lot of crazy people. I'm not saying you're crazy, but I'm saying it's borderline crazy. Yeah, it is. I mean, but I think a lot of times it's not even their fault though. You know, it's like this. There's something broken going on. You know, but it's not like surgery is gonna fix it though. You know, and it's just such a bad idea. And so it's just like, you know, because the reality of it is you can't transition into that. No, you just can't. I don't care what they taught you, that's something you cannot do. It's just not true. That's just something you cannot do. I don't care what they taught you, it's just not true. It's something you can't do. Oh yes, and no matter how hard you try, it always just comes down to the fact that you can't transition into that. No, 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 no. All right, I'm gonna stop now. I'm sorry about that. I realized that would be kind of a weird song to play at a concert or something. It's like, sorry guys, it's not like the best material really to be pulling out just in a crowd of strangers. I might offend somebody. But the message of the song is that God believes in you, you know? And like, you know, don't turn your back on God. Don't be like, God, you made a mistake. You know, just try to figure out how to get around whatever it is that's in your mind that's causing you to think that. And realize that God, you know, just loves you, and God, you know, whatever, just realize that you're created the same way all of us were. None of us had a hand in it. None of us got a choice in the matter. And so, you know, it's just the luck of the draw, man. That's all there is to it, dude. I mean, it's nice that you believe in a soul, though. I really do appreciate that part of the whole thing. Because it's kind of rare these days to get people to talk about their soul, or like to even admit that there is such a thing. And clearly the trans people believe in a soul, because the whole premise is that I was born in the wrong fucking body. And so clearly you believe in a soul, because I mean, because your body is you, and, and like the mainstream view of things today is like, what do you mean you were born in the wrong body? What was your soul? Oh yes, you believe in a soul, so you must believe in source. There's a soul source. The soul is a spark of energy. It's a spark of light that can be seen. It's a visible light. It's real. It's your spark of life. It's energy that sparks in your being somehow. It's all part of the whole. It's in the software, you know, it's in the hardware, it's in the ether. However it works, it's drawn from somewhere, right? When you have energy, it's being pulled from some source of energy. And so, what is the sole source of soul? The sole source of soul? Well, they call the sun soul, SOL. And if I had to choose what it is that I think is the source of soul, I might choose the sun as being the source of soul. So maybe our spirits, our souls are spawned from the sun. Our source of souls that are spawned from the sun. The sun is the source of souls from which we spawn from. The soul source, I believe that could make sense to me. I don't know how it happens. I mean, it's just part of the magic of life, I guess. Where does your soul come from? I don't know. Where does it come from? A soul source, probably. The soul source of the souls is the soul, is the sun. I think the earth gave birth to a sun that was our sun. The earth gave birth to a sun from the navel of the earth. It sprung. That whirlpool right in the middle, right there. That's the navel of the earth, they call it. And if the earth did give birth to a sun, that's where it would have sprung right from. So if we did get a soul from the sun, if a soul was a spark of life that could be spawned from a soul source that I think might be the soul, the sun, the SOL, they call it, every soul that's spawned from the soul source sun leaves a corresponding sunspot where that soul used to be from. And so the soul source comes from the sun, and the sunspot was where your soul used to be, and the sun was sprung from the navel of the earth where it gave birth and it broke off its umbilical cord, just like we do. Pop! And activates, and boom! And shoots up in the sky and starts making its circuit right there, right from the very middle, and it starts working out. Whoop, right from the navel up into the sky, activation. And God said, run program. And it was good. And then, the sun spawns so many souls. And your soul, like when you die and your body dies or whatever, there's still that energy of you and that soul, that spark is still within you until that last moment. That's when you die. That's when your body, that's what we call death, is when the energy that inhabited this body that was sparked into you from the beginning leaves the physical body. Where does it go? Well, I don't know. I mean, where would it go? Let's think about this logically. Okay, so the soul is the sun, or what were you saying? Oh, the sun, the soul is energy, it's light, it can be spawned. Where did it spawn from? The soul source, the sun? Well, when your soul leaves your body and it dissipates into the environment, I guess, what else would it do? Where else? There's nowhere else to go. It goes here. And I think, it's pretty obvious that we know how energy works. It's pulled back to the source. Unless it's strong enough. Like you could have like a really strong source of energy still, or maybe you're just shining especially bright. In which case, you might not be pulled all the way back to the source. You might go all the way to heaven, and that's where we would see these smaller parts of the whole up in the sky at night. The stars, they're smaller lights. They're smaller specks of, energy, whatever. It's light. And so, when you see light, you got energy. So it's like our spark of life is a visible light that can be seen. So when that spark leaves our body and it dissipates into the environment, it's pulled back into the source, the lake of plasma, fire, or whatever you want to call it, the sun. Or if it's, really its own, it has its own, it's just like especially bright, I think that's when you can actually make it to heaven. When you ascend all the way, when you have your your corona or whatever. I don't know. I gotta work on that part. But so we can see by the stars in the sky that many souls have gone to heaven. And we can see by the sunspots that souls are still spawning down here, and I'm sure there's still souls going to heaven. But we can see by the heavens that there's a lot of souls that have gone to heaven, lots of souls. And you start to think, well, does the sun have like a finite amount of souls in it? Like if all the souls start going to heaven, do you think the sun will just go dark eventually? Run out of energy, all the souls respond and they all went to heaven instead of going back to source? Yeah, and I think what we're looking at in the sky, I've seen the stars in the sky before when I was out backpacking as a young man. I was like 21 out on the John Muir Trail. and I saw a star. I mean, the sky was almost white with stars. I mean, it wasn't white, but I mean, look, there was so many fucking stars. Like, I haven't seen it like that since. But I'm just telling you, there's a lot of stars out there. So I think there's probably about a whole sun's worth of stars out there. That's what I guess, and some. And I think we're on our second sun. I think the sun is spawned from the earth. It gives birth to a sun out the navel of the earth. It spawns a sun from which it sprung up into the sky. It spawns the souls until the souls die and go to heaven. And the sun goes dark, and eventually, after all the souls are spawned, the sun goes dark and hardens immediately. Hardens immediately, not eventually. Eventually, all the souls are spawned, and then the sun hardens immediately because it gets cold. And you can see on the surface of the sun where all the souls were swirling around in this plasma substance type stuff. The surface of the sun where the plasma substance type stuff was swirling around right before its souls got spawned all out, and it just hardened, and right then it got cold and hardened. You can see all the stuff that was happening on the surface of the sun before it hardened. This plasma stuff is like hot. It's like bubbling and popping, you know. So where all the bubbles were, after it hardened immediately, there's just a bunch of little holes, like craters, you know, like little holes all over the surface where the bubbles were popping off, you know, before it hardened immediately. And so, and so it's a dead sun, you know, and it's got a bunch of little holes all over it. And the thing is, it's still up there floating around, you know, moving around in a circle, kind of like the real sun, the new sun, you know. But it's not, it doesn't have energy of its own anymore. It's not spawning souls anymore. It's just a dead sun, but it's made of the stuff that suns are made from, plasma, substance, whatever it is, you know. And so when the new sun shines on it, it'll absorb the light and it'll cause it to glow. You know, so it's like it'll glow. You know, it kind of gets some of its old glory back for a minute, but it fades, you know. But it's always in charge one, you know, just based on the angle of the sun. It's still making a circuit in the sky. It's going the same direction as the sun is now, but it's when the sun goes dead like that, it starts to slowly lose elevation and eventually crashes into the earth. That's what I think. But that's why it's going to be on a different schedule than the sun. It's going to, because it's a little bit closer now, you know. But the thing is, a dead sun is easy to spot because you just have to spot its belly button, and then you know. And the belly button is really easy to see. Next time the moon is out, go look for its belly button. You'll find it right away. You just have to know what you're looking for. Just have to know what you're looking for. And so the sun, you know, it gives life. Its light causes growth. It brings life, our spark of life. And the moon is a dead sun. It's the opposite of life. The moon's light causes death and decay. The sun's hot and warm and life-giving. The moon's light is cold and it causes decay. It's the complete opposite. That's what happens. It's just like, you know, like that's what happens, you know. When the sun spawns all its souls, it goes dark and solidifies, and it's still up there floating around. It's kind of awkward. It looks pretty weathered and spent. It looks like it used to suit some other purpose, so it's kind of mysterious, and it glows, you know. But we just don't know what it is because it doesn't seem to suit much of a purpose other than just looking really cool. And, you know, we just wonder, why does it have all these craters all over it? Oh, it must have been getting hit by things. There's all these impacts. No, those are outpacks. That's where the air was escaping from the plasma substance as it was boiling and popping before it hardened. See, you're always going to be given the opposite of what's true when you're learning mainstream science. They tell you the moon came from the earth. Well, they're not wrong about that. But they don't tell you that the moon used to be its sun and it was given birth to by the earth. They'll never say that, because that's my story that I made up. And I'm sticking to it, and I'm keeping it. It's mine. I'll share it with people, though. People can say it's theirs, too, if they want to. But really, it was my idea, and I was the first to say it. And it all started when I observed the moon's belly button one night. I'm like, why does it have a belly button? And what is the moon? Why is it up there? What's it doing? doesn't seem to be doing much. It's just kind of circling around. Well, what else is up there circling around? Well, the sun. There's a bunch of little lights further up, but like, you think it could have been one of those things? What, the sun? It's doing the same thing, circling around. Well, yeah, maybe, huh? Just a dead one? A dead sun? The Death Star? Yeah, sounds like it might make sense to me. The plasma moon kind of checks out. And that explains its belly button. So I feel relieved about that. Well, your soul is a spark of energy. I gotta write that song. Well, your soul is a spark of life. They give you the spark of life. It's a spark that can be seen with your eyes. It's a spark of life you get from the soul source that's been drawn from the sun, the soul, the source, the only one, the source, the soul source of souls. Your son was born from you. Your soul was born from the soul. The sun was born from earth. The earth gave birth to a sun. The sun gave birth to your soul. I don't know. I think I can make a song. The sun burst forth from a hole in the earth, the navel of the earth. The navel of the earth gave birth to a sun. See, I like my story because it explains everything. It explains what the stars are, explains what the sun is, explains what the moon is. It's not science, it's storytelling. And that's kind of where we're at today. Because when you can't run the scientific experiment on whatever it is you're talking about, the scientific method, I mean, you can't conduct scientific experiments using the scientific method on it. Yeah, that's more aptly phrased. Then it's not science. It's just conjecture or, story time. And so that's kind of what the sky is, because it's just a thing we look at. We don't go up there and do science on it. Now there's people that can make up stories that they do that. And that's kind of what the problem is. They want you to think they flew a spaceship to the sun and took samples of the sun. But how'd they do that? I mean, how'd they get it back? I mean, isn't the sun supposed to be like pulling us all towards it? Like, I would think if you got close enough to the sun, you'd just be sucked right into that sucker and incinerated. How did that little Parker probe have enough thrust to escape the sun's gravity that's pulling on like 9 planets and moons? And but this little thing made it in and out of there no problem. That's pretty good science. They got technology is really amazing. So it's got enough strength to hold on to all the solar system, all these planets and moons and shit, asteroids, belts, and but that little probe made it in and out of there no problem. Cool story, bro. Cool story, bro. And so that's how mainstream science wants to tell you that they know everything about the sun, how it works, what's it's made of, and and all that kind of business. Then they also tell us that the sun is flying at like 500,000 miles per hour through the galaxy. That's what they say. The sun is moving at that rate, 500,000 miles per hour through the galaxy. And I mean, I don't know how you measure hours in a galaxy, or miles for that matter, but I would think that if something was moving that fast and it was a light source, such as the sun, that it would leave a trail. They probably say something like, well, there's no friction in space, and shut it down. They designed the perfect story to be able to have an excuse for everything. Those fuckers. I'm gonna play one more song. last chance to hammer in the brass tacks. No time for lagging, nagging, bragging, dragging ass. No time for lagging, nagging, bragging, dragging ass, or acting like a maniac. Act fast, jackass, last chance to hammer in the brass tacks. No time for lagging, nagging, bragging, dragging ass, or acting like a maniac. Do you wonder why exactly I'm explaining that? Just consider the fact that once you grab your bug up, there's gonna be a way to turn back around. Because this whole thing's gonna come down. Act fast, jackass, last chance to hammer in the brass tacks. No time for lagging, nagging, bragging, dragging ass, or acting like a maniac. Do you wonder why exactly I'm explaining that? Just consider the fact that once you grab your bug up, there isn't gonna be a way to turn back around. 'Cause this whole thing's gonna come down. That's right. Act fast, jackass, last chance to hammer in the brass tacks. No time for lagging, nagging, bragging, dragging ass, or acting like a maniac. Do you wonder why exactly I'm explaining that? Just consider the fact that once you grab your bug up, there isn't gonna be a way to turn back around. 'Cause this whole thing's gonna come down. That's right. Act fast, jackass, last chance to hammer in the brass tacks. No time for lagging, nagging, bragging, dragging ass, or acting like a maniac. Do you wonder why exactly I'm explaining that? Just consider the fact that once you grab your bug up, there isn't gonna be a way to turn back around. 'Cause this whole thing's gonna come down. That's right. And we will see who's laughing when the place is collapsing in a free for all. Anything can happen when the ship goes down. So does the captain. Wherever you are is where you'll be stuck. And when this place goes belly up, better have yourself a damn good plan when the ship hits the fan. Wherever you are is where you'll be stuck. Yeah, when this place goes belly up, better have yourself a damn good plan when the ship hits the fan. When the going gets tough, better be clever enough. Going gets tough, better be clever enough. Gotta know what the fuck to do. You gotta run amok, or let the muck run you. Going gets tough, better be clever enough. You got to know what the fuck to do. You're gonna run amok, or let the muck run you. Or run amok, or let the muck run you. See who's laughing when the place just collapsing in a free for all. Anything can happen when the ship goes down. So does the captain. Wherever you are is where you'll be stuck. Yeah, when this place goes belly up, better have yourself a damn good plan when the shit hits the fan. When the going gets tough, better be clever enough. You gotta know what the fuck to do. You gotta run amok, or let the muck run you. You better act fast, jackass, last chance to hammer in the brass tacks. Act fast, jackass, last chance to hammer in the brass tacks. Until you're lagging, nagging, bragging, dragging ass, or acting like a maniac. Do you understand that? Just consider the fact that once you grab your bug up, there isn't gonna be a way to turn back around. 'Cause it's all thing's gonna come down.
I love you.
Okay.
I like it.
There you go. Love you, baby. No problem. Back, jack, last jack, hammer in the brass tacks. Lagging, nagging, bragging, dragging ass, acting like a maniac. Do you wonder why exactly I'm explaining that? Do you wonder why exactly I'm explaining that? Just consider the fact that once you grab your bug up, so hard to do. Just consider the fact that once you grab your bug up, there isn't gonna be a way to turn back around. 'Cause this whole thing's gonna come down. That's right. Act fast, jackass, last chance to hammer in the brass tacks. No time for lagging, nagging, bragging, dragging ass, acting like a maniac. Do you wonder why exactly I'm explaining that? Just consider the fact that once you grab your bug up, there isn't gonna be a way to turn back around. 'Cause this whole thing's gonna come down. That's right. Act fast, jackass, last chance to hammer in the brass tacks. No time for lagging, nagging, bragging, dragging ass, or acting like a maniac. Do you wonder why exactly I'm explaining that? Just consider the fact that once you grab your bug up, there isn't gonna be a way to turn back around. 'Cause this whole thing's gonna come down. That's right. The whole thing's gonna come down, okay? Yeah, the whole damn thing's gonna come down. See who's laughing in the place, just collapsing in the free for all. Anything can happen when the ship goes down. So does the captain. Wherever you are is where you'll be stuck. Yeah, when this place goes belly up, better have yourself a damn good plan when the shit hits the fan. When the going gets tough, better be clever enough. You got to know what the fuck to do. You're gonna run amok, or let the muck run you. Act fast, jack, fast, hammer Burn. Gotta go to the grocery store right now. My girlfriend's getting kind of antsy. The greater good was neither good nor great. All they had was bad and a bigger hate. What they create, some people call their fate. I guess for them it's way too late to try to turn back the tidal wave that is heading our way. To try to turn back the tidal wave that is heading our way. Yeah, the things I say that sound insane someday will come to pass. Until that day, keep laughing away, but we will see who's laughing last. And I know that he who laughs last will be laughing alone. And I know that he who laughs last, he will be laughing alone. I will be laughing alone. Carefully we see must plant the seed. Hopefully someday they will see. Carefully we see must plant the seed. Hopefully someday they will see. And I know that he who laughs last, he will be laughing alone. And I know that he who laughs last, he will be laughing alone. I'm gonna be laughing alone. Carefully we who see must plant the seed. Hopefully someday they will see. Carefully we who see we must plant the seed. Hopefully someday they will see. Carefully, you and me, we must plant the seed. Hopefully someday people will see. You and me who see, we must plant the seed. Hopefully someday everybody see. You and we both see, and we must plant these seeds. Hopefully someday people can see that space is fake Just kidding. It's true. Nothing's true. That's all I got to say to you. All right, late. Thanks for watching my